welcome to day 2 of our research writing bootcamp. Last night we mentioned that at every day of our research writing bootcamp there would be an overview of what we'll be discussing in the day, and it usually comes by a video instruction. That video instruction is what we want to have now. Yesterday we mentioned that if we are going to write a research paper, the following things are what we need to do. One, we need to have a research interest. Two, we need to know the current state of research in our interest. The current state of research. What are people currently doing in our interest? Remember that the purpose of research is to search again. It's to contribute to knowledge. It's to enhance the frontiers of knowledge. And so you need to know what is in vogue. You don't write stale research papers. You don't write papers on stale topics. So very important is when you get an interest, you find where is the world going on your interest at the moment. And so today I'll be sharing with you how to find the current state of knowledge in your interest. Now, from the WhatsApp group, some of us have shared your research interest, and I want to use some of those research interests you have shared as my case study to help you find the current state of knowledge. In the WhatsApp group, I have somebody who said he's a physicist and is interested in ionosphere, and I have another person who is interested in nuclear matter properties with the effect of nonlinear interactions in the sigma mesons, and I have another person who is interested in autonomous driving. Now, these are very particular research interests. I wish I had more. I would have used them as my examples this morning, but today we'll practically be discussing how to find the current state of knowledge in our respective research interests. There are two tools, two basic websites that help you find the current state of knowledge on your research interest. This site is Google Scholar. For those of you who are hearing it for the first time, Google Scholar is different from the normal Google. Google Scholar is a database, an indexing site that holds almost all the research work ever done on earth. So it is one place you can seek information about your research, about research work, about researchers and what they have done. Another one I would show you today is Semantic Scholar. Semantic Scholar, like Google Scholar, is also a research database where you could find any research work, any researcher, and any work at all you're looking for. Now, how do you use these research tools, websites if you like, to find the current state of knowledge? There are two ways you can find the current, or three ways you can find the current state of knowledge. One, by reading journals, by opening journals and foremost journals and reading through the different topics people are writing on, you can get to find the current state of knowledge. Another way is to follow a researcher of renown. Say there is a researcher you know, and that researcher is in your field of interest. You could simply come to Google Scholar, for example, and type Moses Udoiso, and you just click, say Moses Udoiso is a researcher you of interest. You want to find. You want to find what is he researching, what is he putting out at the moment, because if he is putting out something, that thing he is putting out must be in the current state of knowledge. You can simply type the person's name, and you would find all the different research work the person has put out in recent times. Of course, in all of the research work, you would find the year of publication. It's a year of publication that helps guides to tell you, oh, this person has done something in this area. Now, if you're seeing my screen, there is something just by my screen giving a summary of what Moses Udoiso has on Google Scholar. Now, as a researcher, some of these things needs to pop up on your screen. What is popping up on the screen and giving an overview of what Moses Udoiso has done is size space. And if for a normal computer system, you may not have that. You need to install size space Chrome extension to be able to have summaries of whatever you search. Now, even when I search, when I begin to search research topics, it will also come up this way and give me an overview, give me a summary of what I'm looking out for. Now, it could also allow me talk or chat with that particular interest I am looking at. Now, also on every paper that has popped up here, you would find cited, you would find chat with the paper, you would find related papers. On your noble Google Scholar, if you have not installed some of the Chrome extension, you will not find this popping up on your screen. And so as a researcher, as somebody wants to get into research, you need to get Chrome installed on your device. That's one. Two, you need to install some researching Chrome extension. Some examples of researchers Chrome extensions are: 1, size space; 2, cite AI; and 3, Microsoft Copilot. These are very important, what do I call it now? Very important researchers tool that must be embedded on your search engine, so that for anything you search, it pops up almost immediately. Now, that is the second way of finding the current set of research. I said, 1, you read research papers; 2, you follow researchers. You search out these researchers using Google Scholar. Just type in their full name, and whatever research work they have done in recent times would pop up, and you can get to find exactly what is in the current state of knowledge. Now, supposing you don't know a researcher's name, you don't have access to research work, you don't have access to research databases, and you're unable to look into journals and the issues they have, you could simply come here and type your particular interest. I want to use the interest of this person who is in ionosphere. Now, I will just come here on Google Scholar. You don't type full words like you do on Google. You type keywords and you connect them by Boolean and so say I'm interested in what is ionosphere. I'll type it in an inverted comma. And what other area? This person said, and radio communication. So I will have and. Please notice that the and is in capital letter, and the second thing I want to type again is in inverted commas, and radio communication. And I have that, and I would click on enter. And all papers that I've discussed, ionosphere and radio communication, would begin to pop up. Now, when they pop up, you need to be careful. When all the papers you have searched begin to pop up, you want to pay attention to the date of publication. For all of the papers here, there is a date of publication. Please understand that unlike what we have in thesis writing, where you are allowed to look into papers of 1990, 1980, in research writing, your currency is papers of the last 5 years. That is, any paper that was written in the last 5 years is the focus, is the current state of knowledge. A paper written in 2017, for example, is still has passed the current state of knowledge, but the current state of knowledge has gone beyond that point. So you are going to be interested in papers written in the last 5 years. That is, from 2019 to the present. Those are the papers you want to look into to find the current state of knowledge in your particular field. And so this Google Scholar, for every paper it pops up, it will give you the year of publication. For example, this paper was published in 2017. I want to look into what it says, but I want to see if there's a more current one. It is 2016. It is 2005. This is 1979. Very still. 1990, 1993. So the earliest paper I have here. Let me go to page 2 and see if I have something different. Okay, I have 2024. That must be a very, very current paper, and it's on Elsevier. And Elsevier, this paper is in 2014, this paper is 2016. This paper has no date of publication. This paper is 1940, this is 1948, this is 2000, this is 2018, somewhat current. This is 2022, okay, a very current one. Now, you also want to find how influential is this particular paper. Of course, papers that are published recently may not have a number of citations, but you want to pay attention to how many people have cited this. If people are citing it, if it has more citation, it is an influential paper in that field, in your field. And so, say this is a paper I am interested in. It was published in 2022. It has only one citation, and it is published on Springer. I want to click on it. Yes, beyond just looking at the title, looking at the title alone could give me what I'm looking for, but I want to go down further. Okay, the paper is on simulation of the minimum frequencies of ionospheric modes of radio communication forecast. And I want to look into the paper. Some papers, of course, will not allow you look into it. For this paper, for example, is not open access. To access it, you need to pay. But you need to know what these people did. Their abstracts usually would show up. So the abstract is here. We applied two promising approaches, namely the shooting method based on globus optimization and the generalized force method to the problem of point-to-point ionospheric ray tracing, where the ionospheric modes tend to the minimum frequency. In most cases, both methods are capable of finding all rays connected in the given transmitter and receiver. And so, without going further, I could find that, the world is towards simulations now. We're no longer doing experimental, we are now simulating. Now, say I want to be able to talk to this paper, and I can copy the name of this paper once it opens, and I take it to Semantic Scholar, and I just paste the paper there and click on search. If the paper is available on Semantic Scholar, I would be able to discuss and chat with the paper abundantly. Also, I would be able to find other relevant papers. That is the difference between Google Scholar and Semantic Scholar. Semantic Scholar presents you an avenue to chat and discuss with the paper and get to know so many other things about the paper. So this is the paper here. I want to chat with it. I want to also check if there's a free version of the paper, unlike what I have there. There are two versions of the paper here. I think one is free. If the paper is free, you would see its PDF being available. But I cannot find this PDF, so it's most likely it's not free. So I can also find related papers. Now, what do you want to search for in that paper? The current state of knowledge is in their recommendation. The current state of knowledge is in their recommendation. So when you open the paper, your attention is on what did they recommend. What every paper or most papers would give you a future direction. Tell you this is where the world should be looking into in the future based on what I have researched and discovered. And so when your paper opens or when you want to chat with the paper, you want to ask what are the recommendations? What are the recommendations of this paper? Just by the side, you can click on that. And remember, I said a researcher needs to have site space embedded into his system so that he or she can chat with the paper, could ask questions with the paper, even when the paper is not free to air. And this is what we'll be discussing today. Meet us at evening.